is, what are you watering in life? Meaning, what you putting your energy into? Is it a relationship? Is it a friendship? Is it a job slash career? Is it a friendship? Let's talk about it. Oh, is it self-care, shall I say? Because I repeated friendship twice. Is it self-care? Let's talk about it. Anything you put, you water, it has to grow, right? So let's talk about it. The quality of life depends on the seeds you water. Your mind is like a piece of land planted with many different kinds of seeds. Seeds of joy, peace, mindfulness, understanding, and love. Seeds of craving, anger, fear, hate, and forgetfulness. These wholesome and unwholesome seeds are always there, sleeping in the soil of your mind. The quality of your life depends on the seeds you water. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. My partner, he gonna jump on in a second. He running a little behind, but that's okay. I'm gonna hold it down till he get here. So yeah, what you water? What you putting it to the ground? Is it good soil? Is it bad soil? Anything you put your energy into, it's either gonna sink or it's gonna swim. If you plant a tomato seed in your garden, tomatoes will grow. Just so if you water a seed of peace in your mind, peace will grow, peace will come. When the seeds of happiness in you are watered, you will become happy. When the seed of anger is when the seed of anger in you is watered, you will become angry. The seeds that are watered frequently are those that will grow strong. So anything you put your mind to, whether it's job, whether it's relationship, wherever it is, it's gonna grow. If you stay focused and determined on getting to that goal, that end point, it's gonna grow. So I always just say, just stay focused, stay to the course. Whatever you decide to do, it's gonna it's gonna flourish. It's gonna grow. Now, if you walk around here being angry and mad all the time, that's where your energy gonna go. You're gonna attract bad vibes. You're gonna attract the wrong type of energy. If you put yourself into a relationship that means you no good, guess what? It's gonna get toxic. It's not gonna grow into nothing. It's not gonna flourish. It's just gonna stay in that toxic state. So I always say, when you want to grow something, when you want to water something, make sure it's gonna be beneficial to you. Make sure it's gonna be something that's gonna continue to grow and mature in your life as you want it to, as it shall be. Anything else, let it be. Let it be. If you're in a relationship and you want that to flourish and grow, pour into it, nourish it, water it. It's gonna grow. Self care. If you want to do self care, guess what? Water it, pour into it. Anything you want to do that you want to pour into, it's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow in the right direction if it's meant to be. If it's something that is positive, something that is negative, you want to set that down. You want to leave that behind, because you don't want it to continue to follow you and just bring anger, bring deception, bring resentment. You want to close the door on all those things. You want to water something that's going to be positive, that's going to bring excitement to your life, that's going to bring peace to your life, that's going to bring joy to your life. You want to have that motivation. So it's like, okay, well, ask yourself these questions. Why do I want it? Or why do I want what I want? Why is it important to you? So once you figure out why it's important and what it is that you want to do, then you can sit down and say, okay, well, I'm going to focus on this one thing at a time, and then I'm going to allow it to grow. I'm going to put my energy, I'm going to put my time into it, and I'm going to let it grow. What are what are you watering? Is it self-care? Is it a relationship? Is it a friendship? Is it a job or career? A focused intention is identifying a direction toward cultivating a more awakening heart and mind. That's all it is. It's being intentional. It's day by day. Hey, Jazzy Poo. It's day by day working on your goals. That's all. That's all it is. You working on your goals, and making sure that it's positive. Just like when you go to church and you put what they say, put a seed in the ground. When you put a seed in the ground at church, guess what? You're gonna want it to come back tenfold. shaking together and what running over. So that's the same thing as watering something that's in your life. Anytime you water something in your life, what you want it to? You want it to flourish. You want it to grow into something beautiful. You want it to grow into something that's going to be contingent and that's going to be long lasting and that's going to make sure you're happy, that you're at peace and whatever it is. So whatever you're seeking, water it. That's the bottom line. Whatever you're seeking, make sure you have to water it. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. You can't. Because you got to remember, it's going to be some stumbles along the way. It's going to be some setbacks along the way. It's going to be some blocks along the way. But as long as you continue to push forward, stand on and stand firm on it, what you want to do and what's your end goal, and keep your eyes focused on that, then it will continue to work in your favor. Everything don't come easy. Every people want stuff microwave. No, it's gonna take time. If you want it to, like a rose, it takes time. If you want it to blossom, guess what? You have to allow it to grow. You have to take it forward. So, and be patient. Be patient. Hey, partner, you to join the line. So we
Mic check
just
one
talk.
two. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. So yeah, we just, I'm just talking about water and things in life that people want, whether it's peace, comfortability, relationship, career, what self care, whatever it is. Like I say, you got to stay the course, stay focused, stay on it. It's gonna be some blocks. It's gonna be some stumbles. It's gonna be some setbacks. But like I was telling them, if you stay the course, everything gonna work out for you. You just can't water the things that's no good for you. You can't water toxic relationships. You can't water things that you can't water disruption in your life. You can't water toxicity. You can't water all this stuff that's gonna what? That ain't gonna mean you no good. It's gonna keep you set. It's gonna keep you. It's gonna hold you back. So you gotta,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yes, you gotta water something that's gonna flourish. Life is what you. But
And I
back to
and,
the.
and I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't. I don't know if you can hear me, but y'all out there, man. I already know where you're going with it. It's just like them farmers. The biggest thing you got to do first and foremost, you got to turn that soil over.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to turn that soil, get your seeds planted, and like you say, water it. And a lot of folks, they want to do a reverse process. They want that instant growth, and things don't grow overnight. But like you said, if you put your mind to it and you understand it and you water what needs to be watered and don't entertain stuff that don't need no water, your life will be a whole lot better.
Yeah. What you put into the universe is what you get out. Whether it's feelings, emotions, energy, vibrations, whatever you put into the universe, that's what you're gonna get out of it. So it's all about making a conscious decision, making a conscious choice to say, okay, I want to put this seed in the ground. Hey, Miss Erica. Hey, Angelina. I'm putting a seed in the ground, but I want it to be a positive seed. I want it to grow in a matter where I'm gonna be comfortable in life. I'm gonna be happy in life. I'm gonna be successful in life. So it's all about how you put into it and what you nurture. It could be a seed of love, kindness, compassion. The more things we blossom in our lives, the more stuff come back to us in a positive life. So it's just all about how you see it and how you move and operate with it. If you want your glass can be half full or your glass can be overflowing. But you can't continue to operate on something that's half full. Cause guess what? That's when stress comes. Heartache, pain, all that different kind of stuff. You gotta do you want your cup running over eventually. You want to build up to it. So I always say, whatever you're watering, make sure it's something that's going to bring you peace in your life. It's gonna bring you happiness in your life. It's gonna bring you joy in your life. You don't want to be taken on an emotional roller coaster. You want to set your path before you. You want to sit down and write, okay, this is what I want to do. Well, this is what I have in order to do. And it may be 3 or 4 goals, but you just tackle one at a time, and eventually you're going to flourish with all of them. How do we
Preach.
start it? It's the same way. Speak life to them, manifest them, write them down, make it plain. You got to focus on what you want. We waste too much time, precious time, worried about things that we don't want to happen. Things that most likely will never occur. Most of us ain't gonna win the Mega Millions, the Powerball. Instead of focusing on your fears, try to shift your attention to your dreams, your aspirations, and the things you love. That's it. Shift. You gotta be able to shift. Most of us, you have a wandering mind. Your mind running miles per minute. But once you learn how to quiet your mind and set it on what you want to do, what you want to water, what you want to pour into, then at that point you'll be successful at whatever you want to do. So the next time you find yourself biting your nails over something you're afraid will happen, flip the script by picturing a dream of wish beginning fulfilled instead. That's it. Every time the devil come to kill, steal, and destroy, right? So you could be thinking of something good. You could be having a good day. But then that mind get what the devil play on the idle mind. So then the devil playing. And now you say, oh, I can't do that. But you just was all in 10 minutes ago. But once the devil come in and start, well, you know what, you gonna feel, oh, you don't have enough money. Oh, you don't think the customer's gonna buy. Plan it. Market it. Brand yourself. Whatever it is. Whether if it's a relationship. Speak your expectations up front. Don't waste time. Miss Erica said we also waste time on things we can't not change instead of focusing on the things that we can change. Exactly. We get so stuck in dormant or complacent, shall I say, on things that don't even benefit us. We stuck in the worry zone. We stuck right there saying, "Oh man," but you can't change it. You gotta release it and let it go. Focus on the things that you do have control over. Focus on the things that you can change. But as a people, we got to get to that point. Release the need to label. Try not to label thoughts as positive or negative, but rather view them objectively as they are. Focus only on the things that align with the life you wish to create and let everything else go. That's it. Walk in your alignment. Set your path and walk in your alignment. Anything that was meant for you is going to continue. It's going to happen. It may be in your particular season, in your particular time, but just because it don't happen in the microwave time or may don't happen when you want it to happen, still continue. Still continue on that path because eventually it's gonna come to the forefront. Picture your thoughts floating by on a conveyor belt while you choose the ones you want to keep and put back the ones you don't want. Remember, you're not your thoughts. You're simply the one observing them. So no need to get down on yourself anytime and our thoughts crossing your mind. It happens to all of us. So basically just what that's saying is bring your dreams to fruition. Bring it out. Think about it. As you're thinking about it, write it down. Research it. Whatever it is you want to water.
And touching on what you're saying, speaking on what you're saying, man, you know what people do? People get caught up in like you said, self-doubt. People get caught up in what they can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tried this, it didn't work. I mean, when you look at it, a lot of your successful people didn't become successful until they was middle age or up in age, where they start seeing the fruits of their labor, where they start seeing that water they planted, that water they poured on to what they planted. And trust me, it's not going to be an overnight process.
Mm-mm.
I mean, when you, like I said, I go back to the analogy. When that farmer plants, when that farmer turns their soil, when they plant that seed, it take a minute for stuff to start to sprout out the earth.
Right.
Then once you get that little sprout, they have to go back and rewater it and
Mm-hmm.
constantly water it. And as you constantly watering, that little sprout become the product. The product continues to grow. So notice what the farmer don't do. They just don't sit overnight and say, well, I'm gonna put this water down and I'm gonna have instant gratification tomorrow.
Right.
Just because it don't happen for you in your first season, your second season, understand if you keep putting the effort, putting the time, watering what you plans, watering what you're trying to accomplish, it's gonna eventually happen for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just gotta be mindful daily. Check in with your thoughts. It's make sure that, okay, am I aligned with what's positive, or should I say what's good is in line in what I'm trying to do, or did I let my negative thoughts or my my craziness of the day take over? Re-aim your focus if so. We are human. We get sidetracked. We get distractions, but know how to jump back on the train. Get intend to redirect them back to ideas that resonate with you and make your heart smile. That's it. Once you get off focus, come back. Resonate back with what your original plan was and stay and jump back on track. Keep calm. Don't panic. Slow down. Take 5 minutes to breathe and recenter yourself. Because if you do that, I promise you, everything gonna come back on track. We all get distracted. Can't put our phones down. Social media, family, friends calling. But we have to learn how to say in that moment, hey, I'm working on XYZ, whether it's yourself, whether it's relationship, whether it's job, career, whether it's you want to be an entrepreneur. You got to hey, I
And,
gotta focus on what I'm trying to do right now.
and then don't get so caught up in watering others and you forget to water yourself.
Mm,
Because you should be the seed that's getting the most nourishments, the
yeah,
seed that's getting the most water, because you gotta no, you can overextend yourself. It's an old saying, you can overextend yourself. And if we're gonna stay on the water analogy, which the topic is tonight, you can definitely become dehydrated.
oh, that's a good one.
And if you keep going, there's different levels. You can become severely dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
So understand what you're pouring into and
Yeah,
understand what's pouring back into you, and
right,
make sure you got that balance to where you're pouring back into yourself. Because
right.
you can run that race 100 miles an hour. At the end of that finish line, you reaching for something to hydrate you. But you may get to that finish line and there's nothing there.
Because you done poured into everybody else. And now your cup empty. You right.
Mouth dry, you're looking crazy, you're thirsty because you don't pour it out so much and you forgot to replenish and rehydrate yourself.
Yeah, that is true. Don't fight it. There's no need to try to control or change your thoughts. Allow whatever comes up to come up. If it's something you don't like, simply don't focus on it. Remove it. Remove your attention from it. Water only the seeds that, with your attention, which you wish to bloom. Said that earlier. Just redirect yourself. You know it's negative. You know you get caught up in the everyday gossip or as I say, the ratchet TV shows, and I love to watch them too. But if you feel like that's taken away from what you're trying to do or the goal you're trying to get to, Then sometimes we have to say, oh, you have to catch yourself like, oh man, let me go ahead and redirect myself back on track. Let me get back to the place where I'm trying to be, because if I don't, I'm gonna be stuck here. And that's something you don't want to do. Repetition is key. As a single footstep will not make on the path, will not make a path on the earth. So a single thought will not make a path in the mind. You got to think about it. You got to always have it at the forefront of your head. Write it down. Research it. Go on dates. Like I said, whatever you trying to water, you got to continue to pour into it. It got to be repetitious. You got to constantly do it. You got to constantly keep it at the forefront of your mind if you want it to bloom. Be patient with yourself. Nothing happens overnight, like we were saying. And most definitely, trust the process. Know that if you continue to put the work in, the fruits will come with time. But just in case you need a little reminder, hey, we all sometimes do. This should not be a trick. It shouldn't. Continue to put it at the forefront. Be patient. You don't want to rush nothing. Because if you rush them, guess what? You're going to miss something. Something ain't going to be right. You're going to have to go back and redo it. Even though you should always be doing the checks in anyway. And whatever it is, if it's a relationship, hey, how can I continue to have that, communication with your partner? A 3 month, a 6 month, 12 month, 5 years, somewhere. Hey, how is this relationship going? What can I do better to help our relationship? What am I missing that you need? What is your love languages? If you want to be an entrepreneur, what steps do you need to water to get there? Do you need a business plan? Do you need an LLC? Do you need an EIN number? Do you need a Dun and Bradstreet number? How much it's going to cost? How long it's going to take you to see a return? Who are you marketing it to? All that. Oh, I want peace because my life has been in such a turmoil. I want to seek peace. How do you seek peace? Sit down and quiet your mind. Meditate. Yoga. Get in the word. Oh, I want to seek happiness. I be sad. I find myself being depressed. Find happiness. How do you find happiness? And sometimes it be crazy because a lot of the stuff that we searching for be within us. We be searching for it out in the world, but it be right within us. Anything you searching for. And Miss Erica said prime example is Tyler Perry, Viola Davis, Taraji P. Henson, and others when it comes to putting in the hard work and never giving up. Most definitely. What Tyler Perry say? He slept in his car. He had eight people at a show. He didn't give up. Even though his parents say, come on back and work at the store, work at the factory. Guess what? He said, no, I want to stay with my plays. And eventually, he continued to water it. He continued to focus on it. And look where he at today. Here in Atlanta, he has two studios, two film studios. One by Greenbrier Mall and the other one on Fort McPherson. And he building up on that. Man. Oh, he got on exit. Tyler Perry Studios exit. Off of Langford Parkway. He got a whole little street. So if you continue to work your craft, don't give up on your craft. Some people say, oh, I want to be a painter. I want to be a photographer. Don't give up because you took one bad picture. Don't give up because you messed up on one painting. Keep moving forward. I'm telling you, eventually that light gonna shine. All it needs is for one person. You could get 10 doors slammed on you. All you need is that one yes. You can't get discouraged. You can't just quit. That's fear. You can't let fear take over. Gotta keep going forward. I guess my buddy, he probably hit a bad patch, but yeah, we gonna keep going. It's just like I say, you have to whatever you're going to have to water it. It's going to get hard. There's going to be some times you want to throw in a towel. It's going to be some times you're going to get frustrated. But you got to know how to pick yourself back up and continue to go at it. Continue to move forward. That's all it is. You have to continue to put your best foot forward in whatever it is that that you want to do. Because you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to get complacent. You don't want to get to a certain point and then you get comfortable and now you 5 years in and you looking back and you say, oh man, what did I do in those 5 years because I'm still here? How can I begin to move forward? You got to bring it to fruition. You got to sometimes you got to quiet the outside noise. Sometimes you got to get away from the company you keep. Sometimes you got to let go of that relationship, even though your heart going to be hurting. But guess what? Pain brings healing. Because once you learn how to get past the pain and start to heal, guess what? After every storm, it got to be a rainbow. The sun got to come out sometime. So we just got to know that we won't be stuck there every time. Just always keep a positive outlook. Even when you get discouraged. I always tell people that come to me, I say, you can sit there for a second, but don't stay there too long. You got to learn how to pull yourself back out. So I always say, whatever you water, whether it's bad, guess what? You're going to grow a bad situation. If you water something good, it's going to grow into something good. You just got to be mindful. Give yourself credit. That's it. Give yourself credit. Give yourself, that let yourself be able to make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up too bad. If you're in a bad relationship, figure out how to pull yourself out. Pray on it. If you feel like it's worth staying, communicate. Communication is always going to be key on it. And begin to pour into it. Have that person pour into it. Counseling. Whatever it is. Entrepreneurship. Pour into it. If you don't like the job you own, do the work to find you a new one. Put you together a resume. Put you together some interviews. Go on Indeed. All the other work, engines and job engines, shall I say, and put in. Spend 2 hours. Spend 2 hours sending your resume off. But then once you send them off and they call you for interviews, make sure you are prepared for the interview. Make sure you getting in there and you thanking them for their time. Make sure you getting in there and you answering the questions correct. Make sure you're not fidgeting. Make sure your hands is on your lap. Make sure you're giving eye contact and you speaking without saying and. Practice makes perfect, right? You watering it. That's all it boils down to. You got to water it. You got to go. You want to go back to school to be a doctor or lawyer. Guess what? You got to buckle down. You got to study. You got to do all that. We want the $1 million life. But what can we do but we don't want to put in the hard work. We see all these rappers and all these, like we was talking about, she said Tyler Perry, Viola Davis, Taraji P. Henson, T.I., the guy who created Apple, the people over Amazon. You see where they at, but you don't see the hard work it took, the blood, sweat, and tears to get there. They believed in it, and they ain't let nobody take it away. And so what they did, continue to do the work. They continue to do the work. That's all we got to do is continue to do the work. So we are at our half mark point. Man, I thank y'all for tuning in. My buddy that made it on in. Y'all could have been doing anything else, but y'all continue to rock out with us. If you just coming in, or if you watching without pushing the button to join, we talking about what people water in life. What you watering? What you want to grow? What you want to prosper? It's personal growth, relationship, job, career, entrepreneurship, going back to school, getting degrees. What is it?
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, it's my little diva birthday, man. My little baby girl turned 14 today. So, but I was listening. I'm tuning in. I'm live. I'm at the crib now. So, yeah, man, y'all jump in and talk to us. And one thing I will say is listen to the conversation. What resonated is understand. Excuse me. You are the gatekeeper of your success. I mean, when you clearly look at the title, I mean, in order to survive, you have to have water. You can people can just drink anything they want to drink. You got to have some H2O in your body. You're going to dehydrate. I touched on that earlier, but understand that you are the gatekeeper of your success. I mean, it may not, like I say, it may not happen overnight. It may not happen that first year. But as you're pouring into yourself, as you're pouring into that product, as you're pouring into what you want, I promise you, you will see some type of success. We're not saying it's going to be instant gratification, but I guarantee if you just take that cup and you pour and pour and pour and pour into yourself, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen. Is it? You know, I won't go down the spiritual realm, but when you pay those tithes, that 10th,
At 10%.
I know a lot of folks that 10th done came back 100-fold.
Yeah, and it ain't always to that point. When we say tithe, you don't always have to tithe in the church. You can tithe that 10% into somebody. It could be a homeless man on the street. You tithe into that person. It could be somebody that you see and trying to get somewhere in life, and you want to bless them and pour into them. Oh, okay. Well, let me. You selling this and you trying to get where? Okay, or you trying to get some books for school? I got you. Let me pour into it. Oh, you trying to make it to church, but you don't have no gas? Here you go. Let me pour into you.
And speaking on that, a lot of folks stop being selfish. I mean, and understand this: if your glass is full to the point where your glass about to run over, as Crystal just said, hey, let me give you a little bit of what I got. Notice we didn't say give up. Notice we didn't say give up everything you got. Notice we didn't say empty your cup. We said just give a little bit. It goes a long way.
They do. That to do. And what is that? Just left Bible study talked about taking off or shedding old skin and putting on the new, and it's a daily struggle. So trying to reach new goals or changes takes that persistence. Yep, it does, and that's exactly what it is. Ain't you shedding old skin, putting on new. You pushing forward on whatever your goals, dreams, and aspirations is, and it's gonna be a challenge, but once you be persistent with it and don't give up, don't because you done got 10 no's, don't throw the whole dream away. No, because that one yes gonna come. The day you decide to quit, you may have missed out on that yes. That's it. We got to take root and become. Once you start watering that whatever it is you want to do, it becomes strong in our thoughts and in your actions and your words. Like I'm actually going to school. I want to become a nurse practitioner. Guess what? I speak that every day. I speak it every day. When people come around, hey doc, hey this, hey, I don't correct them. Why? Because I believe it's gonna come to pass. So I'm saying it. Yes.
All you doing is pouring into yourself.
That's it.
Thank you, Auntie. Appreciate it. I sure let her know. You pouring it into yourself. And actually, It's others that already see it within you, and they're pouring into you. Just by the simple gratification that they're acknowledging you. They know you're not of that, but they're going ahead and planting that seed. They're going ahead and say, you know what?
Yeah.
They watering it for you, laying that foundation and
Right. And then sometimes like you don't even think it. Like I had to have some recommendations letters written. And when I read those letters before I submitted them, I was overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, like you think highly of me, or I portrayed this to you over these years and times. Oh my God. So sometimes people see in you what you don't even see in yourself to know it's there. But when you get that extra push, that just man, that takes it to an extra level. That helps you to say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep going because guess what? I got the community behind me. Or I have people behind me that see it in me that know I can do it. Cause I just want to stop at nursing. They like, Crystal, no. No, you got it. It's in you. I was just in New Orleans this past weekend. It was a hit and run accident. Guy was stretched out, hold back his head, bust out bleeding. I could before I could even think, I was already outside of my car helping to render aid. Healthcare field, my healthcare workers, you already know that's what we supposed to do. Even though I couldn't touch him because for one, he could have sued if I would have, hurt him more, or it would have been, if we would have moved him, he could have been, we could have gave him a spine. We don't know if he had a spinal cord injury, a brain injury, or whatever, but we was there along with another nurse. She was there as well. We was there to say, hey, don't move him. Don't do this. So we was there to render care. So it's crazy how that whatever is in you, whatever seed is planted into you, sometimes it's gonna flourish whether you want it or not. It's gonna flourish whether you want it or not. But I just say keep putting forth, put your best foot forward. If you fail, what they say, what the song say, pick yourself up and try again. That's it. That's it. Just keep trying. That's all you can do. Day for day, second for second, minute for minute.
hey, and don't ever let that doubt seep into your head. I think a lot of folks you may encounter something that stumbles you. That say, hey, no, or we just use an example. You go apply for a loan. It could be for a home loan, a car loan, and you get denied. So guess what you got to do? It goes back to the topic. You got to pour water into your credit.
Yeah.
Because evidently something is holding you back. So you're not hydrated to the level where they say approved. So you got to go back to the drawing board, pour some more into your credit, pour some more into cleaning up what you need to clean up. So when you roll back in there, that approval becomes a yes.
Right. Exactly. Same with, buying a home. Anything you want to do, you have to. You got to put the energy for it. Research. Don't be so quick to pay people to do it for you. Research it. I wouldn't fix my own credit. I poured it to myself. I got on. I call it what, YouTube University, and I got on it myself. Yeah, I took a couple of notes here and there. Got into it. Like my mama would say, we may fall in the mud, but we don't have to wallow in it. Yes, you most definitely right. Get there for a second and get on up. That's it. Get back up. Think about it. Okay, this plan didn't work. All right, let me go this route. That don't work. Try this way. Because eventually it's gonna work. But all the mistakes you done made to get there, guess what? You can go back and grab somebody and say, hey, do it this way. I tried XYZ, it didn't work. So I don't want to see you fumble. So let me give you the blueprint. to help you out. So instead of you starting at step 1, I got you at step 5.
Man, I tell people all the time, Michael Jordan didn't make every shot.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He didn't. He would practice after practice.
But he poured water into his basketball game.
Yeah, it just depends on how bad you want it. That's what it boils down to. How bad you want it. How bad you want that peace. How bad you want happiness. How bad you want joy.
Mm-hmm.
How bad you want to get away from toxicity. How bad you want to get away from disruptions, distractions. How bad you want to get away from people don't mean you no good. You got to leap. You
Hey,
got to.
you just said something. You may have a leak somewhere.
Yeah.
So you pouring in and you pouring in and you wondering why nothing ever coming out of the ground. You gotta check your surroundings. You gotta check those who are around you in your circle. Those who are saying they're pouring into you, like I said earlier, they can be the ones dehydrating you. And you have to know the difference. You have you and not saying you have to be spot on with everything, but you have to be able to spot those who are pulling that water out you.
You gotta rip the weeds out and throw them away. You got to. And you got people, we so, like even myself, I'm naturally a nurturer, so I want to help everybody. I want to be able to get this. But at some point, it's draining. Like you say, you get dehydrated because you then pour it into
Mm-hmm.
everybody, and you stop and think like, oh, I ain't even poured into myself. I'm lacking. I can't even have self-care because I didn't gave all my time and energy to someone else. So it's just what you say. You got to check your soil.
Mm-hmm.
You can't grow nothing with rotten soil.
And understand when you turn that soil over, sometimes you got to do a little digging. You got to go on your hands, need to get them rocks up out of there. You got to get that clay up out of there. And all it does, it goes back and touch on everything we've been talking about tonight so far. So a lot of stuff you don't mention before I was able to jump on. Man, it's just when you plant, understand what you planting, understand what you're trying to get out of what you're planting, and that's your life. That's your everyday movement. I believe Crystal said that's your job. That's anything you do that can be beneficial towards you. And make sure you're pouring into the right things. The right thing. Because a lot of times, and like I say, we're human. We catch ourselves, even us talking to y'all, we catch ourselves pouring into stuff that we shouldn't even gave an ounce. But if you want to get less than that, a millimeter, a milliliter of gratification of water to something that we knew wasn't going to materialize, wasn't going to come see a way through. So it's how you take those steps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're going to get a bad return. Hey, like I say, you talk to farmers. Hey, they have a good crop and they have a bad crop.
Mm-hmm.
A storm can come through and devastate everything they done planted. But guess what happens after that? A year later, a season later, they see 10 times the multiplication of what they planted. So
Hey.
with that aspect, understand what I just said with that. I'm gonna give you a gem. Not all storms come to be in bad forms. Some come to clear out what need to be cleared out in order for that real pouring in to come.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all, just take it for what it's worth and apply it. If it works, apply it to yourself.
Yeah, because what they say, sometimes we can be blocking our own blessings. We got to hold ourselves accountable too. So sometimes we can block our own blessings. So it's like when we remove that stuff, and sometimes take it to the word right quick. Sometimes we have to God will keep allowing us to keep going through a storm because he say, I done told you to remove this. I done told you to stop doing this. I done told you to stop doing it. Oh, you want to be hard-headed? I'm going to keep giving you storm after storm after storm until you learn how to release it. God will whoop you. But once you know what it is and you sit still on it and you focus on it and you surrender and say, okay, dang, I quit. I'm going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
God said, tell me what you want to do. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
make me laugh. He already know the plan that's set before us.
Already. It's
So
already.
yeah. Move out the distractions that he know that ain't no good for you. The negative peoples. Move them out. The jobs that really he ain't even told you to. You ain't even supposed to be there. So sometimes you get sad, you get fired, you like, oh man, you crying. What am I gonna do? No, God was never meant for you to be there. He done got your plant growing somewhere else. He got another door open for you. Or he know that you want to be an entrepreneur. He know that business gonna grow. But you so scared to take a leap. So you gonna stay on this 9 to 5. Guess what? Oh, okay. She wanna stay on that 9 to 5. She finna be fired. And it's gonna push her to her greatness.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we just have to let go, know your purpose, learn your purpose, and follow the path that's designed for you to go on. And take away everything that's not meant to be. Because I'm telling you, sometimes you walk away from stuff that ain't meant to be, everything start happening. The house you wanted, the car you wanted, the career you wanted, the money in the bank. You know how to save.
Then you sit back and be like, where did all this come from?
Mm-hmm.
It was already there. You had to do that. You had to do that soil turnover, that tiller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That soil had to do this.
Right.
So now you pouring into that uprooted, that soil done got disturbed. So now that fresh, that seed that you plant can actually catch life and grow.
That's
Hey,
it.
hey man, trust, like I say, y'all, man, we don't walk through it, man. All aspects of life. We done been through it. Everything ain't always been, what it is today. You know what I'm saying? And we look at ourselves and we say, hey, we always trying to get better.
Yeah.
So all we do with these episodes is to try to give y'all some gems, try to give y'all some tools that you may be sitting there self-doubting yourself. And with the analogy with the water, like I said, with water is hydrogen and oxygen. Two things you got to have to live. So if you ain't got that in you, like I said earlier, you dehydrating yourself.
Right. Yeah, we just, like you say, we just here having candid conversations.
And technically when you if you want to use the urine chart, you go from light yellow, clear, and as you move on that chart, the darker it gets, that means that's the less water in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like going through life. If you ain't got that right level of water, or that light level of what you pouring into you,
Yeah, you got the correct light and yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
get
take on.
and darker and darker. Then you're sitting at the crossroads like, man, how did I end up here?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, it's that constant. Let me then, because you can overhydrate yourself. We ain't gonna leave that out.
Now you're on the race to get back in the game.
No, it should be slow, steady, and constant. You know what you need. You know the water levels. You know the content of what you need to pour into your life. You should know the levels and the content to pour into someone else, and you should know the level and content where you're not overextending yourself.
Hmm. Got to know when to let go, too. When to release. Hey, I done poured into you. Now it's time for you to, grab the torch and do it for yourself. Like I said, stuff we search for. It's already here. You just got to know how to pull it out. That's it. People, we search for love,
Mm-hmm.
search for validation.
Mm-hmm.
We search for acceptance. No, sit still and know it's there. It's already in you.
And sometimes we, like you say, we tend to search in the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about pouring into you. Just like out there, them oil miners, the mining for oil, they keep digging and digging and digging and digging, and they get in the spot. They say we know oil here. You go back to Dallas. I'm gonna take it back on y'all. Go back to Dallas. Go back to old J.R. Ewing.
Oh, my grandma used to watch
Think
that.
about it. Think about it. Before the Ewings hit oil, they was out there digging, getting wrong readings.
Mm-hmm.
They finally caught it. So is that self-preservation, is that determination that I'm not gonna give up.
Yeah. Even if I fail, try it again. Figure it out.
Some of y'all out there, if y'all watching, y'all don't know who J.R. Ewing is. Y'all don't know who the Ewing family is, but we gonna date ourselves a little bit. But who
Oh,
shot J.R.? I know y'all done heard it.
we owe.
Hey, go on to research. Go look at Dallas, the original Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, yes, we just gotta know. Keep the faith. Oh, you little faith. What it say? Faith over mustard seed. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Oh, I just said, I know, J.R. Yes.
Yeah.
Write them go. I always say, write it down, make it plain, and go forth from there. That's it. Got it. Whatever you grow, gonna flourish. Whether it's toxic, bad thoughts, or good thoughts, or positive thoughts. It's going whatever it is.
Whatever
It's
you give attention to, the more attention you give it, the more you fuel it, more you put into it, good or bad, it's gonna come out. So you got to make that decision.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's it right there.
And man, sitting here on this topic, man, like we said at the beginning of the year, break this thing down into quarters. First quarter, second quarter. And if you sit still for a minute, y'all, February almost over. We know February shoot by. The year just started. Now February almost like bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, February gone. So start putting them seeds in the ground.
Yeah.
Start pouring into the ground. Like I say, you come from the first quarter, you should be able to see some elevation in the second quarter.
Yeah.
It's really what you put into it. I think Crystal said it best. It's what you put into it. It's the amount of attention. It's the amount of fertilization you're gonna give it, no matter what.
That's it. And what is that? This Black History Month, and we really need to stress to our young people and old that we've always had to struggle, but our ancestors never gave up. What's wrong with us now? Exactly. People want everything my way. They don't want to do the work. They have a weak mindset now. Man, the people as strong as oxen, as mules, they out there in 100-degree weather picking cotton and fighting for freedom and marching and so that we can have life easier. But it's not that they didn't gave it, they didn't gave it. Some people ain't get the memo to say, hey, the fight don't end here. We need to keep going. You need to keep fighting toward the goal, fighting toward your dream, fighting for what's right, standing on what's firm.
And when you look back to Miss Aunt Wanda's point, when you look back, think about what them folks did. They were starving. They was actually dehydrated, but they kept pressing.
Mm-hmm.
They kept pressing, so their work wouldn't be in vain.
Right.
So absolutely right. The cycle now is, you're right. The youth got to pour back into the elders. The elders, we got to pour back into it.
Yeah.
Because they kept that soil turning. Had they just got that soil got hard, turned to hard clay, where water would settle on top. Because you do if For all y'all geographical folks out there, if you got certain places in the world where it's the soil is so bad, it's so hot, the water don't even sink down in it.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
put that in the content.
Yeah.
Put that in the content when it comes to your life.
That's it.
You could be so hard, you could be so unfertilizable, if that's a word. I might have just made up a word. Where nobody can pour into you. And understand, you may catch an outsider that's trying to pour into you, and that person has great intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Not don't necessarily, why you worried? People see things within you sometimes before you see them in yourself.
Oh yeah. I've sure enough experienced that. And I was like, oh, that's me. That's how you see me. Now I can't even fail you.
Everybody got some good in them. It's how you bring it out.
Yeah. I'm like, now I can't even fail you because if you see that much good in me, you see that much determination, you see that much, value in me. I can't even, not only do I know I don't want to fail myself on this journey, I don't want to fail you and whoever else that came along to say, man, Crystal, I see XYZ in you.
Mm-hmm.
They already planting their seeds into me. Words of encouragement
Mm-hmm.
to me to sprout it and grow and allow it to grow. That's it. Man, we coming up on our mark. I thank y'all for tuning in with us. We're talking about how we water in our life, whether it's, good or bad. But I thank y'all for tuning in with us. We love having these candid conversations. We are not experts, but we done went through different, experiences and life journeys and struggles enough to come on here and have conversations with y'all.
Yeah, man. We always tell y'all, man, it's coming from a great place. I won't even say a good place. It's coming from a great place. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because we done been through them trials and tribulations. You
Mm-hmm.
know, man, everybody that know, folks that's within our circles, man, it's about elevation. In life, you're gonna go through trials and tribulations. An analogy we had tonight, like I say, what are you watering in your life? You know,
Exactly.
you have to hydrate yourself. When you wake up in the morning, they tell you should have a bottle of water. You know what I'm saying? When you go to bed at night, they tell you should have a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
So if the experts are telling you that,
Right. Room temperature water.
room temperature water, so that should be telling you something when it comes to your life, that you got to hydrate your life. You got to hydrate what you're doing, the way you move. You got, it's not a moment to say, you know what? Well, I ain't drunk. I ain't hydrated in a couple of days. So, but I'm gonna just keep going. No, you gotta stop. Something is gonna slow you down. Something gonna stop you and say, you know what? You gotta hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we use several analogies tonight. Like I said, the urine chart is for a reason. If
Yeah.
you take that chart and take the urine out and just say that's your life when it comes to hydrating, you shouldn't be on the far end of the golden spectrum. You should be on that light colored clear spectrum, that
New.
you are fully hydrated, that you are, as they would say, well hydrated, and that you are well hydrated in the things that you're pouring yourself into.
Right.
And like I say, don't overexert yourself, because there's a such thing as dehydration. So
Mm-hmm.
know who being that vacuum cleaner, who being that Hoover sucking it out you, and you can't replenish yourself fast enough, because it
Right.
happens. It's life.
That it is.
Family, friends, associates, colleagues, things in general will dehydrate you. You sitting looking crazy, but you did it to yourself. Ultimately, we do it to ourselves.
Right. Yeah. Well, y'all, for the next, I will put it out here now. I will be in clinicals for the next 2 Wednesdays, next 2 weeks. So Mac is gonna hold it down. He may or may not bring on the guests. host to run the show with him for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, your girl is gonna be in clinical, so I have to step away for a second for just 2 weeks, you know. But if I get out or get finished early, I most definitely will, you know, pop in and jump on. But
I promise you, I'm a rocket. I'm a rocket. I'm a rocket. And if she was still here, I'm a rocket. I'm gonna still talk.
right. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Tune in with us every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When I talk.
Peace, love, and hair grease.